biography because it's fantastic. He's an American treasure. He really is. He really is. So here's another one about another early time. You know, when you have those fuzzy feelings about people, when you're just in the heat of it, in the thick of the relationship. You remember, we're not so far removed from that. This is about that. This is called, that was quite an outfit you weren't wearing earlier. And that was it. I want to kiss you silly and we'll sleep better after. So he pressed his pretty pleats to the collision of my collarbone. Is that okay? Yeah, but please sir, I'd like some more. And there were more. The tongues like children encountering a revolving door. The things you see when you, this you being me and not you, open your eyes. Pink stationery, pencil shavings, broken flowers on the hardwood floor. When you sleep in someone else's bed, you dream differently. The smell of strange laundry detergent, the off-kilter alignment of the headboard gets into your head. And you, actually I, try to focus on the rhythm of your tongue, the placement of your hands, but when you waste the day in the produce aisle, artichoke hearts aren't easily dismissed. My mind is back to earlier this evening when we were surrounded by potato chips and packaged bologna, the spot where you lost all your celebrity. In the grocery store, you're just a guy pushing my cart, yet you are Bill Murray, so you make eyes at me when I put chicken and a biscuit in the cart and sample the sample. You're sort of the worst sometimes, like when I mispronounce baguette and brioche, or when I pretend to cough and insert yet-to-be-purchased grapes into my mouth. And yet, I want to run my hands through your receding hairline. I want to kiss you under the vegetable misters as peals of fake thunder crash in the background. I want you to place one hand on the small of my back as I examine avocados that will inevitably go soft before guacamole can ever be made. The produce aisle always brings this out in me. Everything is ripening, rounding, people are sniffing, squeezing. It's a cliche, but this doesn't make it any less true. Which brings us back to artichoke hearts. Do we, yes this time it's me and you, buried in a box spring, pull them from artichoke bodies like those red-cheeked natives in Temple of Doom? If one is a vegetarian, and this one is, does this mean this one's heart can only be an artichoke heart, which bristles purple at the sound of coffee dripping and Karen Carpenter? I think so. Broccoli blooms greener with steaming, so it stands to reason your innards are unripening, returning to vines vermilion, don't you think? You're browning in my bated breath, edges curling rather than crisping. Let's get back in our drawers.
Yeah!
Thank you for the special effects. Fantastic.
You're welcome.
We paid highly for them, so I'm glad we got them. The wedding planner suggested it, so I did it. Have you ever had deja vu? Didn't you just ask me that? That's great. It's called You Like Boats, but Not the Ocean. Oh, thank you. More special effects. I didn't even pay for that one. So, You Like Boats, but Not the Ocean. He waltzes in. Can I buy you a drink? Sweet vermouth on the rocks with a twist, please. There's something so familiar here, I think. You give your hand to me, and then we sink. The snow starts in on us, the hardest freeze. He waltzes in. Can I buy you a drink? He wakes up, the bedside roses of pink. Radio plays the I Got You Babe tease. There's something so familiar here, I think. The groundhog bestows on the crowd a wink. Phil looks to the camera with his unease. He waltzes in. Can I buy you a drink? Her rhinestones and French poetry in ink, like a subtle paint-by-numbers striptease. There's something so familiar here, I think. There's no tomorrow today, double think. That about sums it up for me, she agrees. He waltzes in. Can I buy you a drink? There's something so familiar here, I think.
Yeah!
And if you haven't seen Groundhog Day, you should see it, because that's what that was about. And it's a great film. It's another American treasure, it really is. Have you ever had a fight in public with someone before? Probably, maybe. Like one of those fights where it's like a fight, but no one else knows, but they really do know, but you try to keep a thing going where no one else knows. That's what this is about, sort of. She's my Rushmore. You punctuate your phrases with sips, the cheap wine commas, negative air, negative time, filled with the humming of conversations and the silence between our silverware. You wrap the paper straw holder around the glass. After dinner, you wipe your mouth and say thank you just like this. I need to go to the bathroom. Last night, you waited until I was asleep to slip out of my arms and into a bath. I heard you turn the water on and off with your pruning foot, the squeak of the pipes, a conversation begun and aborted. And I smoothed down the fibers of my mustache with my index finger and considered the indention in your feather pillow. It should be bronze. It should be set on your mantle like those baby shoes that no one seems to save anymore. Now, I look at your blue sweater hanging on the back of your empty chair like a scarecrow. Scarecrows have become so happy and so useless. You see them at Hobby Lobby, they don't scare anyone anymore. And it reminds me of how happy and how useless I am. And you haven't come back from the bathroom, so I write this thing down in crayon on the paper tablecloth because it's that kind of restaurant. I'm a bit lonely these days. Then stick one cigarette in each side of my mouth and walk out to retrieve the tandem bike and ride off into the sunset with one empty set of pedals.